Hi class, this is Mr. Wolf, and our objective today is I can write a multiplication sentence given a repeated addition sentence. So let's get started right away into our lesson. Let's say that we've got 5 students in our class, and each one of them has 2 hands. So we've got one student with 2 hands, we've got another student with 2 hands, another student with 2 hands, and so on, right? And until we've got 5 students. So we have 5 students right here, and each one of these blocks represents one hand. So there's 2 hands here, 2 hands here, 2 hands here, 2 hands here, and 2 hands here. And so in order to answer the question of how many total hands do I have among the 5 students, I would have to add up all these 2's. And so my repeated addition sentence would look something like this. Right? It would look something like this. And that's because I've got 2 hands here, plus 2 hands here, plus 2 hands here, plus 2 hands here, plus 2 hands here. Whew, man, that makes a lot of hands. And it makes a really long addition sentence. Well, man, I wish that there was a faster way that we could write this. There is, and that's where multiplication comes in. So we've got 5 students, and they each have 2 hands. So let me ask you a question here. How many 2's do you see? Pause the video to answer that question to yourself. Yeah, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So we're going to write a multiplication sentence that shows we have 5 2's. And how I'll write that is, I've got 5, my multiplication sentence. This 5 is because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 what? 2's. And that's my multiplication sentence. 5 times 2. I've got 5 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. That's where we get this multiplication sentence. 5 times 2. And then the total of 5 times 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That would be the same as 10. Great. So now that we've got this one done, let's move on to a different problem. Let's try repeatedly adding 3. So I've got a group of 3 here. I've got another group of 3 right here, another group of 3 here, and let's squeeze another one in here, another group of 3 right here. All right, if I wanted to write this as a repeated addition sentence, what would I do? Go ahead and pause the video now. You're right, since this is 3, and this is a group of 3, and this is a group of 3, and this is a group of 3, this is what my repeated addition sentence would look like. Well, how would my multiplication sentence look? Pause the video right now to see if you can guess and figure out what our multiplication sentence will be on this one. Hopefully you counted like this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 3's. So my multiplication sentence is going to say, I've got 4 3's. 4 times 3. Great. And if you want to know what the product is, or the answer to our multiplication sentence, we can find the sum of our repeated addition sentence. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 3, 6, 9, 12. Great. Let's try one more problem. This time, we won't use the blocks. Let's say we've got something like this. We got 5 plus 5 plus 5. How can I write this as a multiplication sentence? Count with me how many 5's we have. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 5's. 1, 2, 3 5's. Since I have 3 5s, my multiplication sentence will look like this. 3, 1, 2, 3, 5s. 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. 3 times 5, because I have 3 5s, I have 1, 2, 3, 3 5s. All right, great. And then if you want to know the product, 5, 10, 15, right? And we could put equals 15 right here, right? Great. So now that we've got that done, I want you to see if we can do this backwards. Let's suppose I gave you a multiplication sentence, and let's see if you could write the repeated addition sentence. Looking at this right here, I've got 5 times 4. How can I write this as a repeated addition sentence? Well, I know I'm going to be repeatedly adding 4s. But how many 4s? That's right. I'm going to be repeatedly adding 5 4s. So here's how I'd write that. See, I need 5 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's put some plus signs in between because it's repeated addition. There we go. Now, that's our repeated addition sentence that matches our multiplication sentence. These are the exact same thing. But notice how long this one is and how short this one is. Yeah, I kind of like multiplication better because of how short it is. Great, now that we've had practice doing repeated addition to multiplication and multiplication to repeated addition, let's do a couple practice problems on your own. Right now, if you scroll and click the Take Quiz button in Canvas, you can see that there are 2 practice problems highlighted in blue. They're worth 0 points, so that's why we call them practice problems. I want you to complete those 2 practice problems on your own and see how well you do. Pause the video now and complete those problems right now. I hope you got these 2 practice problems right. If not, let's go through them and figure out where we might have messed up. The first one was this. We had a bunch of repeatedly adding 2s. All right, and so then the question is, well, how do I write this as a multiplication sentence? Well, it's going to be some number times some number. Well, I've got a bunch of 2s here, so I know I'm going to be multiplying by 2. But what number goes here? Oh, it's how many 2s I have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2s. So therefore, my multiplication sentence is 6 times 2. And then the other practice problem had this. And it wanted you to write that as a repeated addition sentence. And here's how you should have done that. I'm going to be adding 3s, but how many? Oh, I'm going to be adding 3 3s. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So that's our repeated addition sentence that matches the multiplication sentence. All right. Now that we've done our practice problems and completed our lesson, it's now time for you to complete the exit ticket. Take a moment right now. There are 2 exit ticket problems that you need to complete inside of Canvas. You can find them both underneath the practice problem highlighted in red, and they're both worth 1 point. Do your very best, and I hope to see you soon. Rewatch this video in case you need to go through the lesson again.